The Genius Act passes the Senate. Don't be dumb to what that means.
As I sit here and take in all of the news from every direction, all I see is deceivers, liars, corporate media, cover-ups, agenda, all pushing the same propaganda. It's time for a game changer, a visionary, an innovative person who changes the way that people think of the situations. It's time for Game Changer TV, telling it like it is. Get in the game.
Thank you for tuning in to Game Changer TV. I'm your host, Terri Lynn, and this is the channel where every day we're telling it like it is. Today is June 29th, 2025. And have y'all heard about the Genius Act? These people think they are geniuses. Have you heard about the Genius Act has passed in the Senate? And don't be dumb by what that means if you heard it has passed. Now, I'm going to cover in the beginning of this video some censorship that's going on around the world and how that's going to tie into the passing of the Genius Act. Let's get into this. This is from June 26. The German state just raided 170 people. Why? For their social media post. Europe's digital watchdogs now raid homes over tweets. A wave of coordinated police raids, and Donald Trump just militarized our police. They've got till July 28th to be radicalized, militarized, and it will be coming here. A wave of coordinated police raids swept through Germany at dawn yesterday, not to apprehend violent offenders or disrupt terror plots or illegals, but to pursue individuals who dare to post politically incorrect remarks online. Do y'all hear this? Pay attention, please. The sweeping operation led by the Federal Criminal Police Office targeted roughly 170 homes around the country. Phones, tablets, and computers were seized from suspects whose alleged offense was nothing more than expressing a strong or offensive opinion, many aimed at politicians. This annual crackdown, now a routine of the German state's law enforcement calendar, stems from the paragraph 188 of the Criminal Code, updated in 2021, during the pandemic when rights were going away, to criminalize insults against political figures. Now, why do you think all of a sudden they're going after people for criticizing government actions? Because more bad actions are coming and they don't want interference about it, or they don't want people to warn other people about what's coming. Our days, even here, are limited in telling the truth. June 25th, 2025. German police target 170 people for insulting politicians online. On Wednesday, June 25th, the German federal police carried out a major operation throughout the country, searching for homes and confiscating the electronics of 170 people over social media comments that either fall in the general hate speech category or just insult sitting politicians. According to the officials from the ruling center, all this is perfectly normal in a democracy. Digital arsonists must not be able to hide behind their cell phones or their computers. In many cases, in crimes involved merely entail legitimate criticism of government policy, saying that Berlin fails to control migration could be considered Islamophobia or racism, for example, or just the opinions of everyday people of the elected officials. One wheelchair-bound woman called him a Nazi. June 25th, 2025. German speech crime raids are a chilling sign of things to come. Around 6 a.m. in the morning, can you imagine? You still in your PJ. You ain't even gone to the bathroom yet. At around 6 a.m. this morning, hundreds of people across Germany woke to police officers at their door. Police! Their only crime is to have openly made. Our days of telling the truth are coming to a quick end. Their only crime is to have openly made critical or offensive comments on the internet, many about specific politicians. This is not a scene from the Third Reich or the German Democratic Republic, but from the Federal Republic in the 21st century. Officers from the Federal Criminal Police Office intend to make approximately 170 house visits today to investigate hateful or insulting comments made online. Suspects have had their tablets, laptops, and phones confiscated and their homes searched. This operation has been taking place annually for several years now, since 2021, to enforce paragraph 188 of the German Criminal Code. This amendment in 2021 made it a criminal offense to insult a political figure, punishable by a maximum sentence of 3 years in prison. The article said it's a sign of things to come. This was February 14th, Valentine's Day, 2025. Insane hate speech laws use police helicopters to combat free speech violations. The New South Wales police in Australia have increased helicopter patrols in Sydney's eastern suburbs to combat a rise in anti Semitic incidents. This is a part of Operation Shelter launched in October 2024. February 14, 2025. Australia is the testing ground for the World Economic Forum. 15-minute cities, digital IDs, cashless economy, social credit scores, hate crime laws, police hate speech laws, police helicopters to fight anti-Semitism.
Trying to destroy Australia. I think it's an intentional destruction of a great British colony. Do you have any idea who's buying this?
But why test this new draconian show of force on Australia of all countries? Well, for one thing, they are physically isolated from the West, and so their unique geographic position makes them an easy target, an easy piece of land to manipulate. This is from August 22nd, 2024. It's not okay anymore. The United Kingdom cracks down on free speech. This is from yesterday, June 28, 2025. Elon Musk, the champion of free speech. X adds feature to report post deemed illegal in Australia. X has quietly rolled out a new feature allowing users to report posts deemed illegal in Australia, a clear nod to the country's aggressive online speech laws. And they had, in 2021, wrote the Orwellian-sounding Online Safety Act in 2021. Just like the UK. We talked about this in the beginning. Once they start taking your rights away, you are never getting it back. So this is from June 24, 2025. The United States and the EU funnel cash to combat disinformation and hate speech. A US and EU funded initiative is offering significant financial incentives to media professionals across Central Asia, with the stated aim of combating so-called disinformation and hate speech. Now it'll be turning into like Crime Stoppers, turning your neighbor for hate speech or criticizing the government. We'll give you $5,000 or something. We'll buy you groceries. That's how bad it's going to get. Would a digital ID save government's money fighting fake news? Now, y'all, this is where it's going to start getting good. Please get a notebook, make you a flow chart, because we're going to hit some different things, and I want you to see how it's all tied together. You can stop the video, go get a piece of paper. This is very important because this is our future and it's coming down quick. Okay, so implementing a digital identity system might not directly save government money spent on combating fake news, but it could potentially contribute to reducing the spread and impact of misinformation. A digital ID could stop people from talking online because they know who you are, which in turn could lead to cost saving in the long run. Combating fake news with digital identity verification. Combating fake news with digital identity verification. The internet has become a fundamental source of information exchange in the 21st century. In particular, online social media platforms are becoming increasingly important tools for communication. They can't have that. And political discord in the U.S. and abroad. This medium presents a novel, unprecedented way for people to become more informed and civically involved, but simultaneously opens democratic societies up to potential interference by foreign, malevolent actors who manipulate the information that social media users consume and make decisions from. But we believe that the responsibility of authenticating an individual's identity in the U.S. residential status is a primary duty of the government. No place to hide. Trump calls his opponents scum. So, what if you're online right now and you're criticizing Trump? He's calling the people that don't like him scum. Are y'all ready for this? Who's he going to go after? Trump vows to expose his enemies, expel rogue actors, and government during his DOJ speech. He accused prosecutors of wrongdoings and abuses and vowed to demand full accountability during his speech at the Department of Justice. He's putting fear in them to obey him so that they will go after other people. From the ACLU, Trump's expanded domestic military use should worry us all. President Donald Trump's use of military domestically is dangerous and deeply misguided. Could the militarized police be knocking on the door for his scum people that are against him? Trump executive order to militarize local police. There is a recent executive order signed by President Trump that is interpreted by some as promoting the militarization of local police. He's turning over military equipment to local police, military assets. Critics are concerned that providing more military equipment to a man who's going after the DOJ and demanding loyalty, and he's militarizing the police, and he's calling his enemy scum. Is this going to turn out well? Some argue that the orders focus on prosecuting local officials, people that don't agree with him, and it will protect law enforcement from any liabilities. Trump's order would also indemnify law enforcement officers who unjustly incur expenses and liabilities for actions taken. Trump has been given immunity from the Supreme Court to do whatever he needs to do and not be held liable. And now he's making it where the police are going to be militarized and not be held liable, while he promises to go after his enemies. And they're wanting to go after speech. Trump's executive order to militarize local police and protect the police from liability. They're putting in all the safeguards to protect themselves while they go after people. And y'all remember Trump said, haul out the guillotines for his enemies? Former official, what's the date on this one? May 5th, 2025. Former official targeted by Trump says the president is trying to silence his critics. He says, we don't need permission slip in the United States to criticize the president, but apparently so. In an exclusive interview with NBC News, Miles Taylor said that he is prepared to fight back in court and that his repeated warnings of Trump would use presidential power to retaliate against perceived political enemies have proved accurate. My concern was that he would turn the government into a revenge machine, and that's what's happening. And that's what Doge is. And it's about to get more worse than Doge. Wait till y'all see this Genius Act. One of my sons used to insult one of his brothers with, okay, genius. I didn't like it, but why would they have named this the Genius Act? Or they are laughing at us. Okay, let's keep going. Trump thinks the freedom of the press is disgusting. This was 2017, his first term. Trump has made it very clear that he does not stand for freedom of the press. As a presidential candidate, he told supporters that he would open up our libel laws to sue journalists. We're going to have people sue you like you've never got sued before, he promised. Look at this. People are going silent, fearing Trump's retribution. Trump critics muzzled themselves. Trump campaigned as a protector. This is March 12, 2025. Trump campaigned as a protector of free speech. Critics say his action as president threatened it. May 15, 2025. Milwaukee Journal. Trump silencing critics, cracked down on fourth branch, paving way for autocracy. Now, the fourth branch is journalism. The media, often called the fourth branch of government, plays a crucial unofficial role investigating the other three branches, judicial, executive, and legislative branches, Congress, the Senate, the Supreme Court, and the President. The media is often called the fourth branch, plays a crucial, unofficial role investigating the other three and informing the public. Unfortunately, some outlets have abandoned its role, becoming partisan propaganda machines. And people on the internet who are not being Operation Mockingbird are about to be silenced. This is from NPR, April 7, 2025. Freedom of speech is shifting under the Trump administration. We are exploring how. Many Americans are worried that their First Amendment right to free speech is fading. FBI agents visit home of New Hampshire Libertarian Party member 9 months ago.
Steve, this is all in response to that social media post that... Steve, this is all in response to that social media post.
A social media post had the FBI show up.
That went up over the weekend. Jeremy Kauffman shared a video of the visit on his X account in which you can see two agents asking to speak with him. He goes back and forth with them for a few minutes before they leave. The initial post was made over the weekend on X, and it said that anyone who murders Vice President Kamala Harris would be an American hero. The Libertarian Party of New Hampshire then deleted the post, saying that they, quote, did not want to break the terms of the website we agreed to. The presidential candidate of the Libertarian Party, Chase Oliver, told WMUR that those statements don't align with libertarian values. And we also did hear back from the Secret Service, and they told us that they don't comment on protective matters. We're live in Manchester, Ariel Metropolis.
That makes that gas. Here has been visited by the FBI before. Let me see a show of hands.
Definitely here, yeah.
All right.
I typed in censorship globally increasing. Yes, evidence suggests that censorship is indeed increasing globally, encompassing both online and offline spaces. The new objective of the globalist elites, they want to control speech so that they can lie more freely without being caught. This was from last year. Now, Klaus Schwab isn't the head of WEF anymore, but this is their vision.
The world has reached a critical juncture, according to Klaus Schwab, who has ordered world governments to begin jailing and re-educating anybody who opposes the globalist agenda.
Jailing and re-educating.
According to Schwab, human history is now officially over, and anybody who disagrees with the globalist agenda must be cancelled, deplatformed, arrested, and imprisoned as an example to the rest of society. This evil plot against humanity has been in the works for years, and now we're seeing the first signs play out before our very eyes. But Schwab has become increasingly bullish about his plans to hijack humanity, destroy sovereignty, and brute force a world government upon the world. According to Schwab, we have now reached the point where anybody who takes a negative, critical, or confrontational attitude to the plans of the WEF must be dealt with harshly.
We need to overcome the most critical fragmentation. And the most critical fragmentation is between those who take a constructive attitude and those who are just bystanders, observers, and even go into the negative, critical, and confrontational attitude.
Klaus Schwab's unelected globalist agents have been instructed to disseminate the instructions in international forums. Former New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, who now serves the WEF full-time, told the UN Climate Summit in New York this week that free speech is a weapon of war, and anybody caught speaking their mind on sensitive globalist subjects must be punished accordingly. Ardern went full Orwell when she claimed that censorship is necessary to protect free speech.
Mis and disinformation online, a challenge that we must as leaders address.
So what are some of the ways they could address misinformation and disinformation and fake news and news contrary to the agenda that they want out? Do digital IDs fight online fake news? Digital identities are seen as a potential tool to help combat the spread of online fake news and misinformation. Digital IDs is going to be the solution. June 7th, 2024. Mandatory ID for social media would solve some problems, but create a lot more. Could a EU identification requirement help make online platforms safe and more trustworthy? Countries with online digital ID to fight fake news. While the digital identity systems are being implemented in many countries, the primary motivation is generally to enhance government services, improve security, and streamline processing. However, some countries are exploring the potential of digital IDs in combating fake news and online misinformation. China Digital ID for Online. China is introducing a national internet ID system, which involves a centralized virtual ID for accessing online services. That means to check your weather, to check the mail, to check your email accounts, to check your online banking. They're getting a national digital internet ID. This system aims to streamline identity verification, potentially reduce the amount of personal data collected by individual platforms. However, critics express concerns about increased government surveillance. Are y'all ready? No more hiding. Chinese users must register under their real names. India digital ID to fight fake news. India is considering and implementing strategies to combat fake news, and digital identity plays a role in some of these approaches. June 22nd, 2025. Russia to mandate state-backed digital ID app on all new devices starting in September. U.S. House passes bill allowing Trump to silence critics, label nonprofits as terrorist groups. Could a digital ID fight terrorism? While digital IDs could potentially play a role in fighting terrorism by enhancing border security and facilitating information sharing, they are not a silver bullet and can come with significant privacy and security concerns. Digital IDs can improve border control by enabling faster, more reliable identity verification, potentially identifying individuals with links to terrorism and more. Now, imagine if you are an enemy of the state and you get put on the no-flight laws. I mean, the domestic terrorist laws list, and you can't get off. Your digital ID will have you locked out of everything. If you're a scum to your government, could implanted RFID digital ID fight online terrorism? The use of implanted RFID digital IDs to fight online terrorism is a complex issue with significant considerations, both positive and negative. Enhanced authentication. Digital IDs, including potentially RFID implants, could provide a more secure method of identity authentication than traditional passwords or security questions, making it harder for terrorists to create fake online accounts. Are y'all ready? Digital ID to protect from fake news. A digital ID could protect you from any fake news somebody online is giving out. A digital ID, or electronic representation of a personal identity information, can help combat the spread of fake news by enabling content creators to verify their work, fostering trust and accountability. By associating content with verified identities, digital signatures or watermarks can demonstrate authenticity and integrity. Are y'all ready? June 4th, 2025. Ethiopia's digital ID chief lays out their roadmap for reaching 90 million enrollments for the digital ID within a year and a half. 90 million people. We talked about this before. World Bank, Verizon chiefs say that digital ID that can protect you from terrorists, protect you from fake news online, force people to register their content. You disobey, you're getting locked out. World Bank and Verizon say that digital ID is part of a social contract between the government and citizens. And I've talked about this before, y'all. I do not plan on, in Jesus' name, breaking a covenant with the Holy God to sign a contract in a world that's going to hell. Why would I play marbles with diamonds? Let's keep going. Did the Genius Act pass? Now, here's where it's all going to get tied together. Please be writing all this down. The Genius Act passes. Don't be dumb to what this means. Yes, the Genius Act, officially known as the Guiding and Establishing National Innovation for U.S. Stablecoins Act, has passed the Senate. The Senate passed the bill on June 17, 2025. You're not hearing nobody talk about this. With a vote of 68 to 30, it now moves to the House of Representatives for consideration. The Genius Act aims to establish a regulatory framework for stablecoins, a type of cryptocurrency pegged to a staple asset like the U.S. dollar. The bill's passage in the Senate is seen as a significant step towards regulating the growing digital asset industry. Don't be dumb to what this means, y'all. Who can make war with the beast? Wait till y'all see what's about to happen. The Genius Act has officially passed. It is a federal regulatory framework for stable coins, setting standards for their issuance. Do y'all hear this? It's a framework for digital currency, setting the standard for it to be issued. Trump excited about the passing of the Genius Act. Yes, Donald Trump has expressed excitement about the passage of the Genius Act, a bill focused on regulating stablecoins. He hailed the bill as an incredible bill that would establish the U.S. as undisputed leader in digital assets. Of course, he's going to say, nobody will do it better. He's got these simple adjectives. He needs to unpack some adjectives. Y'all remember that from the, so unpack my adjectives. All he says is bigly, better, beautiful. He says, nobody's going to do this better. It is pure genius. Y'all think about what I'm saying. The bill aims to create federal regulatory framework for stablecoins, setting the standards for their issuance and operations. It's about to go live. Digital currencies. Could RFID implants be used with stable coins that Trump says he's excited about? Yes, RFID implants could be used with stable coins, though there are important considerations to keep in mind. Payment facilitation. Similar to some companies are developing implantable chips for contactless payments using NFC technology, which is a subset of RFID. These chips could be used to facilitate transactions with stablecoins. By storing a stablecoin wallet or a private key within the implant, users could potentially make payments by tapping their hand near a compatible reader. Tap to pay with your hand. And Trump is excited. His America First is going to make sure we're the first country to do this. Could an RFID implant be used for digital ID? Yes, the digital ID that can stop fake news on the internet, that can prove who you are, that can identify you, that can put you on a list, that can shut you down. Yes, RFID implants can be used for digital identification purposes and for stablecoins. Could an RFID implant support digital currency and digital wallets? Yes, RFID implants have the potential to support digital ID and digital currencies, the stablecoins, and digital wallets. The book of Revelation in the Bible talks about the new payment system that's coming in the last days. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Now, y'all, during COVID, about that time, at your hand level, they got the little hand scanner, or you can, when you put your items across the self-checkout like at Walmart, you can scan the scanner. You could scan your hand right there on the bottom. And what else is right looking in front of you? Facial recognition. So you could either have the mark in your forehead, and that camera right now that's being used for facial recognition could scan your RFID implant in your forehead, or you can take your right hand and scan it across the little thing on the checkout count The new payment system is about to roll out. Trump is excited about this. It's pure genius. Could the word cause, and he causeth all, could the word cause mean the consequences of an action? Yes, the word cause, and he causeth all. Yes, the word cause can indeed refer to the consequences of an action. So some sort of action, a political or financial action, is going to take place, and it's going to cause all to have to receive this mark, this implant. Political action causes consequences. Yes, political actions broadly defined have consequences. These consequences can be far-reaching and impact various aspects of society and individual lives. And he causeth all, a political action, small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, to tap to pay, that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Now, in November, a new payment method, a payment system called ISO 222 is going to roll out in November. Will ISO 222 support stablecoins, the Genius Act? Yes, ISO 222 is expected to play a significant role in the future adoption and the integration of stablecoins. Does ISO 222 go live in November 2025? Yes, ISO 222, the new global standard for payments, is scheduled to go live in November 2025. This migration will involve the retirement of the existing SWIFT messaging standard and the adoption of the ISO 222 MX format. I said, will ISO 222 integrate stablecoins? Yes, ISO 222 is expected to play a crucial role in the integration of stablecoins. Are y'all ready? By aligning this standard, stablecoins can improve their interoperability with banks and payment networks. Is a financial crash about to happen? The financial crisis of 2025. Better be ready. Preposterous as it may seem that America would willfully participate in a meltdown, it's a possibility that regulators everywhere must prepare for. And y'all remember Elon Musk said he thought a financial collapse was coming. Crash the old, bring in the new. And now they've got all the laws and regulation out there that can be used with an RFID chip. And Trump says it's just genius. Oh, they think they're geniuses doing all this behind our back and connecting all the pieces together while society is sleeping. Could ISO 222 prevent total economic collapse? While ISO 222 itself cannot prevent a total economic collapse, it can contribute to a more resilient and stable global financial system, potentially mitigating some risks that could contribute to such a crisis. Stable coins could become one of the United States government's most resilient financial allies. I typed in stable coins and digital wallets. Stable coins are a type of a cryptocurrency designed to minimize price volatility by being pegged to a stable asset like a US dollar or gold. Stablecoins combine the advantages of blockchain technology. Digital wallets are essential for using stablecoins, enabling the users to store, send, and receive them. Will stablecoins work with digital ID that is needed for online transactions? Yes, stablecoins can and will work with digital ID systems, and their integration is seen as a key component for the future of digital payments and finance. Y'all, they're building it all around us. Can stablecoins be held in an implanted digital wallet? You know, the digital wallet that holds your stablecoins that Trump's all excited about? Yes, it's possible to hold your stablecoins in an implanted digital wallet. The Genius Act could bring a new financial system. The Genius Act, if enacted, it's already passed through the Senate. Now it's got to go to Congress. The Genius Act, if enacted, could significantly reshape the financial landscape by establishing a federal regulatory framework for stablecoins, potentially integrating them more deeply into the mainstream financial system. Could universal basic income be paid in stablecoins? You know how Elon Musk said everybody was going to be getting a universal basic income because the AI and robots were going to be taking your jobs? Yes, universal basic income could be paid in stable coins. Universal basic income in stable coins, a guaranteed living wage that will be controllable. Could stable coins be programmable? That means they could go in there, program your money that you can't buy Diet Cokes and you can't buy candy bars. You can't buy a Bible. You can't buy ammo. You can't buy vitamins. You can only buy worms. You can only buy crickets. You can only buy processed water, whatever they put in there. You can only buy vegetables that they have an edible vaccine on. Can stable coins that can be implanted, can they be programmable? Yes, stable coins can be programmable. Their programmability stems from their ability to be used within smart contracts, allowing for automated rule-based transactions. Obey the rules. And the creation of new financial applications. Could programmable money be used to enforce compliance? Do as I say. Yes, programmable money. If you got universal basic income, that's your only income. You have to obey them for your $20 a month or however much it's going to be. You can't afford to lose your $20 a month or however much it's going to be. I'm being facetious. I'm sure it's not going to be very much, though. Will you obey it to get your universal basic income? Programmable money, especially in the context of a central bank digital currencies, has the potential to be used to enforce compliance. How close are we to a global digital currency? Y'all need to write down all these questions and look at the answers. While not yet a fully realized global digital currency, the world is significantly closer to a future where digital forms of currency play a much larger role in cross-border transactions and potentially everyday life.
Wasn't Israel and Iran about to start World War III?
Yeah, there were explosions, sirens, TikToks with red filters, and now just ceasefire?
12 days. That's how long the chaos lasted. Just enough for headlines to scream, while the Genius Act slid through the Senate like butter.
Wait, they signed peace over coffee or what?
It wasn't a war. Turns out it was just another theater for people.
So while we were doom scrolling,
they passed digital dollar infrastructure, biometric ID integration, financial behavior monitoring, and no one blinked because they were too busy asking, is this World War III?
Wait, didn't they say Iran's nuke sites got hit?
Yeah, and yet not a single mushroom cloud. No mushroom emoji in sight. Where's the fallout? Where's the radiation mess?
So you're saying...
I'm saying it was a distraction ritual. Controlled chaos to mask real control.
But why fake a war?
When you're distracted, you don't see what they're building behind the curtain. Because when you're scared, you obey.
And the Genius Act...
It doesn't just replace money. It replaces identity. You become a programmable user.
But people don't even know this past.
That's the point. Just like nothing ever happens. Your soul, willpower, health, and energy are drained daily while you sit in front of a screen, eat garbage, speech, listen to lies, and argue about theatrical events. 2010, real money still existed. 2015, things got tougher, but manageable. 2020, inflation, virus, lockdowns. 2023, prices, rent, food, everything up. 2025, survival became the new normal, and no one noticed because it's happening slowly.
So what's next?
You're not walking into a future. You're sliding into a system, a biometric funnel, where freedom is an illusion with a progress bar.
So we lost and didn't even know?
Exactly. The world didn't end. It just got a new terms of service.
Bro, wasn't...
Now, remember when Trump fired on Iran and then Iran struck some of our military bases? Look at this, y'all. And this is when they were passing the Genius Act. He was a genius, bigly. Attack on U.S. base in Qatar was coordinated. Trump says Iran gave early notice. Okay? So Iran told Trump when they were going to strike, and Trump said, okay. Trump says, I want to thank Iran for giving us early notice, which made it possible for no lives to be lost. So it was a psyop. So Trump said, yeah, you can retaliate against us, but we need to know what time you're going to do it so we can move some of our people and our assets off the base, but we'll make it look believable. Who in their right mind calls the other country and says, hey, we're about to attack you, unless it's coordinated? Listen to this. Donald Trump says he coordinated with Iran to attack our own base.
You saw that where 14 missiles were shot at us the other day. And they were very nice. They gave us warning.
America first. Oh.
Did y'all hear this?
You saw that where 14 missiles were shot at us the other day. And they were very nice. They gave us warning.
They were very nice. They gave us warning.
America first. Oh, America first. Make America great again. Patriotism. Oh, all of these jingoistic things that Donald Trump talks about. He acts as though he is the embodiment of American love. He's the embodiment of love and adoration for the Constitution of the United States that he violates on a daily basis. It's all absolute, unmitigated bullshit. When Donald Trump is in a foreign nation at a press conference, the NATO meeting, that not only does he not embody these ideals, these ethos, he actually coordinated with the nation of Iran in their retaliatory strike against United States military bases. Donald Trump said with his flapping face that he coordinated with Iran, agreed on the time that they would strike our military installations with missiles. Where's the outrage from MAGA? If Joe Biden had stood on a world stage with microphones and cameras trained at his mouth and said, you saw there were 14 missiles that were shot at the other day. The Iranians, they were very nice. They gave us warning. They said, we're going to shoot them. Is 1 o'clock okay? I say it's fine. I said it's fine. That's Donald Trump acknowledging the thing that I just asserted. If Joe Biden had said that, if that had been a quote from Joe Biden, the right wing would be having apoplectic nosebleeds. They'd be losing their minds, locking themselves in a dark room because of the migraines that ensued based on this betrayal, this treason, this traitorous statement. Instead, it's, oh, the dear leader can do no wrong. Yes, thank you for coordinating a strike against our individual military bases in foreign countries.
Bro, wasn't Israel and Iran about to start World War III?
Yeah, there were explosions, sirens, TikToks with red filters, and now just ceasefire?
12 days. That's how long the chaos lasted. Just enough for headlines to scream, while the Genius Act slid through the Senate like butter.
Wait, they signed peace over coffee or what?
It wasn't a war. Turns out it was just another theater for people.
So while we were doom scrolling,
they passed digital dollar infrastructure, biometric ID integration, financial behavior monitoring, and no one blinked because they were too busy asking, is this World War III?
Wait, didn't they say Iran's nuke sites got hit?
Yeah, and yet not a single mushroom cloud. No mushroom emoji in sight. Where's the fallout? Where's the radiation mess?
So you're saying...
I'm saying it was a distraction ritual. Controlled chaos to mask real control.
But why fake a war?
When you're distracted, you don't see what they're building behind the curtain. Because when you're scared, you obey.
And the Genius Act...
It doesn't just replace money. It replaces identity. You become a programmable user.
But people don't even know this past.
That's the point. Just like nothing ever happens. Your soul, willpower, health, and energy are drained daily while you sit in front of a screen, eat garbage, listen to lies, and argue about theatrical events. 2010, real money still existed. 2015, things got tougher, but manageable. 2020, inflation, virus, lockdowns. 2023, prices, rent, food, everything up. 2025, survival became the new normal, and no one noticed because it's happening slowly.
So what's next?
You're not walking into a future. You're sliding into a system, a biometric funnel, where freedom is an illusion with a progress bar.
So we lost and didn't even know?
Exactly. The world didn't end. It just got a new terms of service.
The new terms of service is we're sliding into a digital currency.
About to abandon the traditional system of money and accounting and introduce a new one. Perfect record of every single transaction that happens in the economy.
The general population is not shifting to a new financial system. It's shifting to a control grid.
CBDC can allow government agencies and private sector players to program, to create smart contracts, to allow targeted policy functions. For example, welfare payment. For example, consumption coupon. For example, food stamp. By programming CBDC, those money can be precisely targeted for what kind of people can own and what kind of use this money can be utilized.
The central bank will have absolute control on the rules and regulations, and also we will have the technology to enforce that.
It's no longer a financial system or a currency system. It's purely a digital concentration camp, whether it's a banking account or a credit card, and it can be turned off and on.
The end of cash, and every transaction you make would be transparent and held on a permanent database. Digital IDs are essential to the project. Data on every detail of our lives will be monitored, stored, and monetized. Nothing, but nothing would be private.
We're about to...
Will the Genius Act work with blockchain? Yes, the Genius Act, if enacted, will have a significant impact on blockchain technology, particularly stable coins. It'll be non-negotiable, and every single thing you do is going to be locked down. They're going to see everything you do. There won't be anything private. Zero. You're on your period. You have to go buy something. It's going to be on the blockchain. They're going to know. Will the Genius Act include digital ID? One source mentions that banks preparing for stablecoin adoption should invest in infrastructure, including digital identity. This suggests that while the Genius Act itself may not mandate a digital ID, the implementation and use of stablecoins under the Act may necessitate digital identity verification and management systems for participants. So be able to participate. He causeth all, small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark. Tap and pay. Without it, you won't be able to participate. Based on provided search results, will the Genius Act be able to support programmable money? Yes, we heard that. Based on the provided search results, Genius Act Guiding and Establishment National Innovation for U.S. Stablecoins Act is designed to support programmable money within a regulated framework, particularly through the use of stable coins. And Trump is excited about this. He hailed the bill as an incredible bill that would establish the U.S. as the undisputed leader in digital assets. America first. Oh, I love Trump. He's America first. He loves us. He's not a globalist. He's a nationalist. He urged the House of Representatives, where they're about to vote on it, to pass it quickly without amendments. Nobody will do it better. It is pure genius. And it will restrict people from being able to buy or sell unless they're participating in this. Will digital ID and stablecoins play a role in online use? Yes, digital ID and stablecoins are poised to play a significant role in the future of online payments. So everything is moving towards online shopping. Walmart orders, Amazon orders, Lowe's, Home Depot, restaurants, DoorDash, and you'll have digital IDs and digital currencies, and you won't even be able to get online unless you have that digital ID that can be put in your hand or in your forehead. Digital ID and stable coins are poised to play a significant role in the future of online payments. Can programmable money be turned off for bad behavior? Yes, programmable money, particularly in the form of central bank digital currencies, could be designed with features that allow the issuer, usually a central bank, to restrict or even disable spending under certain conditions. This is because the programmable money allows for the embedding of rules and conditions directly in the digital currency itself. The Bank of International Settlements publishes its blueprint for central bank digital currencies, praises programmable money, praising that they're going to be able to punish the resistors. And it can be used to enforce compliance. May 13th of last year, report 70% of banks were already targeting their customers based on their conservative and religious beliefs. Congress to hold 10th hearing on weaponization of the federal government on Wednesday. Y'all, PayPal debanked me. Buy Me a Coffee, Venmo, all of them, because they didn't like my content. So this was last year. They were already targeting Christians and conservatives. Now imagine if you've got an implantable device in your forehead or in your hand that can be programmable and say, if you don't do what we say, you're not getting no food. If you don't do what we say, your rent's not going to get paid. Do y'all see how hard it's going to be? And it says it can enforce compliance, make you desperate enough to say, Uncle. The first time they cut you off, they might say, okay, no red beans. Second time they cut you off, they're going to say no rice. You can't even eat butter rice. Third time they cut you off, they say no toilet paper. Next time they cut you off, no diapers. They'll just make it harder and harder until you say, okay, I will obey.
Hey there, folks. Let's talk about a hot topic that's been buzzing around: programmable money. Sounds fancy, right? But what if I told you it might be a threat to our rights? Now, programmable money is basically digital cash controlled by algorithms. It can be set to only be spent on certain things or even deactivate after a certain time. Convenient? Sure. But here's the catch. Imagine if someone else, say the government, decides what you can and can't buy. Let's break it down. This tech could potentially track every cent you spend. Privacy? Out the window. Freedom to spend your money how you want? That could be gone too. Think about it. What if you're limited in what you can purchase based on someone else's idea of what's best for you? Your freedom of choice, a key right under the Constitution, could be at risk. And here's another thing. What if these algorithms are biased? We've seen it before with other tech. They might unfairly target certain groups, amplifying existing inequalities.
when they take away the cash, and once again, it's just for our convenience, of course, they want to get rid of robberies, it's for your safety. If you don't carry cash anymore, then you're going to be, safe. Yeah, of course. No, it's not about that either. It's pretty much to make sure that there are no restrictions anymore on the quantity or on the amount of money they can actually create, and some balances, whatever. And there would be no repercussions anymore. On top of all of that is you will no longer be able to save up money, because if you do, they might come up, they already have done so, negative interest rates. So you're actually losing money if you leave it sitting in the bank. But you can't get it and stuff it under your pillow, as our grandmothers might have done it, because there is no cash anymore. So now you're being punished.
Yes, in CBDC, they could put an expiry date.
They can do that, of course, too. So on top of that, you will no longer be able to buy anything without them knowing about it. There is going to be, and once again, it's just, to cut down on criminal behavior and, the black market, shut it all down. No, it's not about that. So, just very rather banal example. Now you have all of this CBDC going on. You have digital ID, of course, will also be brought in. So, and let's just say you go to the grocery store, you do your shopping. And since you expect guests the weekend, you buy, let's say, 5 bottles of wine, right? So you check out, it's all good. And on the way home, you decide to get gas for your car. Well, guess what? You won't get gas at the gas station because you just bought alcohol. Seriously, it's just, it's a made up example, but that's how it would effectively work if they wanted to. And I'm telling you, they want to. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah. They want
exactly. Total control. So what will happen if you don't comply? They will just shut down your bank account. And it's not like it hasn't happened before. Look to Canada. It has happened there. There were people standing up for their freedom, for their right not to get some, unknown substance injected into their arms. They shut down their bank accounts. So if there was no cash, what are you going to do? They can just eliminate you with a flip of a switch. It's as simple as that.
It's right at the door. We've talked about this before. The United Nations, Bill Gates, and the Rockefeller Foundation launched the 15-5 agenda to make digital IDs, vaccine passports, and digital currencies mandatory to participate in society by 2030. That's 4.5 years. And now they want you to have a digital ID that can be implanted just to participate in society. And he causeth all to receive a mark. January 12, 2025, Bank of England to launch digital currency to replace physical cash. The Bank of England is preparing to launch a central bank digital currency according to reports. The major central bank's introduction of the digital pound will pave the way for unprecedented levels of financial surveillance in the UK and beyond. The initiative represents a decisive move towards a system where every transaction is meticulously tracked and monitored. This is from The Sun out of the UK, May 27, 2025. Money Move, Chase Bank, and Bank of America and Wells Fargo are quietly planning a new digital dollar after the U.S. penny set to disappear. Some of the largest financial institutions in the United States could be quietly planning moves away from physical cash. You're going to need a digital ID, a digital wallet, digital currency to participate in their new banking system. And they're monitoring people online for what they say. And if you insult the government and you're having visits coming to the door, they'll cut off your money if you do participate, if you insult them. And Jesus said in Matthew 24:9, the disciples came to Jesus and said, Lord, tell us what's going to be the signs of the end of the age and your coming. Jesus tells them wars and rumors of wars and famines, and don't be deceived, and earthquakes and pestilences. And then in verse 9, he says, and then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. If you're going to try to stand for righteousness, you will be hated. Scripture says those who would not worship the beast would be killed. Revelation 13:15. And it was allowed to give breath to the image of the beast, so that the image of the beast might even speak and might cause all who would not worship it to be killed. And they'll know. Everything will be monitored. They will know. Scripture, there will come a time when they will kill you. The scripture you're thinking of is John 16:2. Jesus is foretelling a time when his followers will face intense opposition, even to the point of death, from those who believe they are acting righteously by persecuting them. The Bible says that there's coming a time that whoever killeth you will think that they are serving God or doeth God a service, because they think they're building a utopia and we're in the way. Revelation 2:10 says, do not be afraid of what you're about to suffer. I tell you, the devil will put some of you in prison to test you, and you will suffer persecution for 10 days. But be faithful even unto the point of death, and I will give you life as your victor's crown. That was NIV. KJV says, fear none of these things which you are about to suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Trump is giddy and excited about this world that he is building under the nose of the people that are trusting him. Y'all think about this. While the war between Israel and Iran was going on, they passed the Genius Act. And then now Trump is wanting a peace prize for the peace that he's bringing. Scripture says the whole world is going to marvel after the beast. And Trump just brokered a peace deal in Africa, and he's wanting a peace prize for brokering peace between Israel and Iran. And he's hanging out with the globalists and bringing in the digital currency, building the new financial system under people's noses, and people still think he's sent by God. Listen to this.
Well, I believe that God saved Donald Trump's life so that he could save the world. And
by putting a digital chip in people?
Well, I believe that God saved Donald Trump's life so that he could save the world. And I think tonight he proved why. He did. He eliminated Iran's threat of having a nuclear weapon, which is an extraordinary threat, not only to Israel, but to the entire world.
And then he coordinated the retaliatory attack on U.S. bases to make it look like it was something real. Trump says he approved the Iran attack on U.S. base. It's all theater. Whose side is he really on? He's giddy over the passage of the Genius Act that will bring in stable coins that can be implanted. And he wants to shut up those who oppose him. Do y'all see how serious this is? This is biblically everything that we told would be happening in the last days, and it is happening right now. This is the time to make your calling and election sure that the Bible tells us to, and to put away the sin that so easily besets us, and to purify ourselves and get serious in our walk with the Lord. And if you've never asked Jesus in your heart, I ask you to seek him. The Bible says, seek him while he may be found. And I love y'all. Please keep your eyes open. We're going down a fast, slippery slope. And it's about to get crazy towards the end of this year. Stay close to Jesus and stay faithful to the end in Jesus' name. Thank y'all for watching. I love y'all. If you appreciate the content that I bring on this channel, I am a love offering supported only in life. I live by faith. If you appreciate the content that I bring on the channel, would you prayerfully consider and seek the Lord on if you should send a love offering? I love y'all. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.